Welcome back to 843 TV. We are now joined by WHHI news anchor Kevin Libby. Kevin, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Wayne.
Good, good. Well, people may not know, but we're shaking up our anchor responsibility here in the next new year.
Yes, sir.
Kevin is moving from the Hilton Head News to the Beaufort News, and there's a lot of reasons for that. So why don't you tell our viewers kind of what's going on there?
One of the reasons is because the first time you offered me the Hilton Head News, which I was thrilled to cover, and I love you, Hilton Head, I said I wanted the Beaufort News because I live here. I want to be able to cover close to home because I can run around very locally and cover all my stuff. I got my Blood Alliance neighbors. And by the way, so happy to have you all here in the Beaufort studio. I haven't quite mentioned that yet. You're in where I hang out most of the time. I got an office upstairs. But yeah, no, I'm moving over to the Beaufort News. I'm thrilled to be doing it. I love covering news for WHHI, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity for me personally, and hopefully for you, my Beaufort people. Yeah.
So, Kevin, this answer may be obvious, but are you a Beaufortonian?
You can't tell from my accent that I wasn't born here. I was originally born in Boston, but I have a fond affection. Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing started. I said, since I can't be a Beaufortonian, I want to go with Beauforter, you know, like a Frankfurter. But everyone else gives me that look. Thank you,
that wasn't working so well.
Not so much. So no. I'll go with I'm a Kamya because I ain't Benya. We'll honor our Gullah roots here in the Low Country. But no, I live right over on Ladies Island, so I'm not too far away.
And if you're not, you certainly have been around enough already.
Oh yeah, covering news here.
That's right.
It's fun. I'm everywhere.
That's right. The guy with the camera.
Yeah, I'm the weird one with the camera that wears ties for no reason all the time.
So what was the biggest story that you covered this last year?
2014? Or 2013. Now it's 2014. I'm getting confused already. I liked doing Candace Glover. It's the thing that seemed to galvanize the community the most. You know, I thought that was wonderful. Candace was really cool. But I also really like covering political things. I studied economics in college, and so anytime I can chase around money, I get really excited about it. In terms of stories last year, I liked covering EcoDuel. If anyone's aware of that, the county pledged to spend $850,000 for this big dynamometer, this machine that was going to help, ideally, the companies that would move into our publicly owned commerce park test their engines and things like that. And that deal seems like it might be falling through, and we can't get a lot of folks to come on here and talk to us about it because there's no permanence with it. But no, I think covering anything with money is really helpful, and anytime someone goes out and wins American Idol and you're from Beaufort, I'll cover that too.
I think so. She deserves some coverage.
She absolutely deserves it.
And now we're going to ask you to put your speculator hat on. What are the biggest stories of 2014? What do you anticipate the biggest stories of 2014 being?
Again, I like to chase around money in politics. We have a huge election year coming up. We're going to elect a governor. We're going to elect both senators, because remember, Tim Scott is filling up the end of Jim DeMint's term, and Lindsey Graham's up for re-election too. So our whole federal delegation is going to change up. Mark Sanford's up for re-election, all that. So I think covering politics is going to be the biggest driving issue going forward. But again, if someone wants to get on American Idol and win.
There's a lot of activity also planned for the downtown marina, correct? I mean, there's going to be some development in Beaufort as well.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So we're doing a lot more publicly funded entrepreneurial endeavors. And that's happening at both the town level and the county level. And I've enjoyed covering a lot of that. The Island Packet's a great news source down here. We're lucky to have them. And they had a majority editorial opinion written a couple weeks ago where they were saying we need to get our town and county governments out of entrepreneurial spending and get back to general expense spending towards the things that only government does. And so I think the way that those things kind of interact is going to inform a lot next year. The marina is really exciting for Beaufort because we have a parking lot sitting on some of the best real estate in Beaufort, and we know it. I'm not sure if the town is going to be the one that develops it. Obviously, since no one else is doing it, the town is saying we want to step up and fund a publicly funded space there, and the development for that is getting worked through. It started off with a bump. Right. One of the things, Erin Moody's a great reporter for the Gazette, and one of the things that she reported on was that they had the approval of the developer they wanted announced and actually reported to the town council ahead of an open session, a public session. And so she had one of the South Carolina Press Association attorneys give her a nice quote, which basically said, it's illegal, because technically it wasn't within the confines of the due process of law. So that's how they started. But that said, I know a lot of the people that, just from reporting on them, I know a lot of the people that are making those choices, and they're certainly not dumb. And
no, yeah, absolutely. But that particular project has gone through a variety of iterations.
We've been trying to build some there for, what, 40 years? Yeah. Well, I've only been living here a few years, but I look back at pictures of old Beaufort, and Billy Kay will tell you this too. Beaufort really hasn't changed, and so if you want a larger tourism base like Hilton Head has for a larger tax base, you got to do something with something like the marina.
Well, I think the other thing too, though, this year is going to be, we're going to have to decide about the sales tax. It's either going to be, we have so many capital projects that are not funded by the state.
That's right.
And so we've had a very successful couple of state road tax proposals. This year we're going to have to deal with either a permanent local option sales tax or a capital projects tax. So that'll be added to this whole thing with the election coming up.
Yeah. And the county is spending, I don't know if you've been reading the papers on this one, the county is considering buying the Pepper Mill tract, which is, the Graves family has this big tract of land right off 170 going down towards Hilton Head. And they want to spend $16.5 million to buy this big chunk of land. And they've already spent $4 million through the Rural Lands and Preservation funding. And the thing is, they want to buy the adjacent huge chunk of land, but they don't know what they want to do with it yet. And so $16.5 million is $100 per citizen. It's more than $100 per taxpayer because kids don't pay taxes. It's just a lot of money. And so what they're doing is they're spending, again, potentially spending $16.5 million before telling us what they're doing with it. And having projects like that, which are big and possibly very helpful, and reporting on those is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, and this is a great conversation. And this is really, you know, when people, you know, ask you or ask me or whatever, why should we watch Beaufort News versus the stations in Savannah who do a great job?
With Savannah, yeah.
The bottom line is because we cover issues like this, they don't even touch this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Savannah will come over. The Savannah stations are wonderful, and they really do a great job reporting mostly in Savannah. As far as low country things, most of the time they come over when we have a high crime. If someone gets murdered, they're going to come in and report on our crime.
Or the Heritage.
Or the Heritage Golf Tournament, and that's deserving too. But what they don't cover is county issues and town issues, especially when it comes to budgetary matters, and that's what I like to cover.
Yeah, and that's what you'll get here on WHHI.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, Beaufort.
Well, thanks for being here. And thank you guys for joining us. Stay tuned for more great WHHI programming, and please join us next time on 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.